Have you ever wondered what makes bodies tick? Are you creating the sexual reality you desire and require? Would you like to know more about what else is possible with bodies? What if your fantasies are not as strange as you thought they were? What if you could learn to be kinder to your body and kinder to others' bodies? Would you like to create confidence in the bedroom and beyond? How has your sex life or lack of it affected other areas of your life? Have you lost your mojo and wondered where to find it? Everyone has the potency to be a sexual superhero. Get ready to listen, sense, and play with the sexualness that is you. Now, here is the host of The Pleasure Zone, Body Whisperer, Milica Jelenic.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and today I have Susan Lazar-Hart on the show. Hi, Susan.
Hi. I love that intro music. I'm just kind of like, I don't know whether I'm belly dancing as I'm sitting in my chair with the phone in my hand. Kind of cool.
That's awesome. I know when I picked it out, it was kind of like this kind of like groovy sitar reminded me of like all kind of Kama Sutra Tantra stuff. And so I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And I think I was tapping into a lot of past lives when I chose that too. So
that was getting better.
Exactly. So for all of you who are listening, if you're not familiar with Access Consciousness, or if you're not familiar with Susan Lazar-Hart, she's been on a few shows on A to Zen. She does a lot of amazing things for consciousness and for the planet, and one of them is a course called Right Relationship for You. And right relationship for you doesn't mean that you're going to have a perfect relationship, right? So I'm going to let Susan talk a little bit more about what that is and like what relationships are and how you can get some in them too, like how does sex play into all of this. And part of what also I'd like to introduce to everyone too are like tools that use access consciousness tools that you can use both in relationships and also like for copulation and sex. And we have a lot of those on the show. We just haven't really done a lot around relationships, which is really kind of funny to me because, it's been 7 months and I've mostly talked a lot about the energy of like you and like working out your kind of stuff too. And so this is kind of cool because I got like the lady, I got the woman on who's the right relationship for you woman who's going to chat with me about this. How lucky am I? And so Susan's I know. And Susan's a certified access consciousness facilitator, so that means that she is aware, and also she's willing to ask questions about everything. So part of what, and I've been in classes with Susan, and I've watched her ask questions that a lot of people don't have the balls to ask, and I really like that about her. So part of what I was choosing when I chose this show with her is that I'm also co-hosting with Kimber Wilkins. I'm co-hosting Susan this Friday in Toronto, so that's Friday, March 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th for some really cool classes. And the Friday night is going to be a taster, Right Relationship for You. So it doesn't mean you're tasting each other. It means you're going to get a little bit of something, information on relationships, and some tools to actually allow you to have to choose greater for you in relationships. Can you give us more information on like what is a right relationship?
Well, thank you. I love the way you said a course, and I'm like, is that like how many people actually set a course in their life towards creating a relationship and maintaining a relationship?
Right.
Yeah. You're like, I see him, I see her, full speed ahead.
Yeah.
Torpedoes. And then it's like I'm setting my course for the right person. What if there is no such thing? One of the things I love to play with is words. So what if right relationship for you was actually a play on words? Because there is no right relationship for you. There's no right relationship for me. It's what actually works, which makes it something that you want to play with. So one of the things we love to play with right relationship for you is to step into the space of creating more of you, to create the kind of relationship you've always been asking for. And people do set a course in relationship. They do have a point of view that there is a right one for you or a wrong one for you. What if it was what's right for you is light for you? And it doesn't have to be light for me. It's your creation. It's the life you'd like to create. It's what brings joy and juiciness and orgasmic energies through and into your life and living and your body that creates the kind of relationship that actually vibrates to who you be, what you be, and what you're asking to show up. So that's kind of what right relationship for you is. That's where it stems from. It's about
really
creating
cool.
the kind of relationship with you, for you, with your body, so that as you step into more of you, should you choose, you can invite somebody else to play with you too.
That's always fun, having a playmates. I know for me in my life, what I was doing, and I like you said something there about the right relationship for you and like what works for you and what's light for you. And I know for me in my life, a lot of what I was choosing was, say I would date somebody, and then my friends would go, "Oh, that guy's a loser." But there was something like magic about him that I could see, and I would drop him like hotcakes. And I did that a lot. I did a lot of this. Well, apparently my friends' points of view or what they're aware of is way more valuable than what I'm aware of. And so I would actually not choose for me at all. I would be choosing for what everybody else would approve of, whether it was my parents or whether it was like my friends. It was like I was, trying to maintain these other relationships and not choosing to actually create greater for me. I don't think I'm the only one that's ever done something that silly.
No, probably that's what this reality is based on. Like how many of us have been taught to create a relationship that makes somebody else equal to you.
Yeah.
So that how many people are creating a relationship from the picture that their parents gave them, so they wouldn't go beyond what their parents have created. So right off the bat, would you be willing to outcreate yourself in every way and everything that doesn't allow that? Would you be willing to let that go? Because whatever you hold on to holds you back from creating. So let's say you were in a relationship with your parents, and it worked or it didn't work, and you've decided at a very young age that's what the kind of relationship you should be having. So how many of you were brought up with the idea that if you're not a winner, you're a loser?
Yeah, or I need to choose a winner, or I need to choose a loser, just in defiance or something like, that I am a loser, so I need to be with a loser, or like all of that stuff.
Yeah,
I've had that too.
Yeah, the really interesting thing about that's all about judgment.
Mm-hmm.
There's no where are you in all of that? I mean, when we play with these tools with access consciousness and right relationship for you, one of the biggest questions you'll hear in any right relationship class is, where are you? Where are you in all of this? Who are you being? How many of us duplicate another person's point of view about what a relationship should be like, what an orgasm should be like, what sexualness should be like. And then we pick that up and we either stop our own awareness, we stop asking a body to show us what it would like, and we start telling the body what it should look like, how it should look like, where it should be, how it should be, and how it should be in relationship with somebody else. So anytime you have a judgment, you have a limitation. Anytime you have a limitation, you're actually not creating anything greater. So it's really the willingness to let go of all the judgments and limitations. And if somebody's right or wrong, that's a limitation. If somebody's a winner and a loser, that's a limitation, because you're not actually willing to receive something greater showing up.
Yeah.
Everything that brings up, can we uncreate, destroy that?
You know it.
Yeah, good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. And for those people who are new, that's the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement, and you could find it two ways. You can find the brilliant Dr. Dane describing it on, I think it's called Clearing Statement Access Consciousness.
.com or something, yeah.
Yep.
Access Consciousness Clearing, yeah.
Yep. And then on Right Relationship for you under free resources, I play with it in how does this clearing statement, this wonderful, brilliant Access Consciousness Clearing Statement relate to relationships. And really it's just a magic wand that just lets go of everything you've been holding on to. So go play with yourself on those two sites and let us know.
All right. I like that. You saying that on the Pleasure Zone, Susan. Woohoo. Go play with yourself on those two sites, because she's all down with that.
That's right. Absolutely.
Also, you touched on something about, what works, like, even with, like, orgasm, I found for me there was a lot of judgment around that. And I would compare myself, I'd have these boyfriends who were like, porn and stuff, or or whatever it was, or they would compare me to like their exes, and my body never reacted the way that their exes reacted. And it often felt like it was for me, it was like an unkindness to myself that I kept choosing this to compare me to these people and like judging the crap out of for not having the orgasm that the ex-wife or ex-girlfriend could have. And I ended up feeling like what ended up coming up for me was that I shut down a lot, which is funny because a lot of people kind of go, you were shut down? Like, yeah, I was actually really shut down because I was judging the poop out of myself. And for me, it was like my body's actually really kind of quiet, and I'm okay with that. And it's like not something that most people would go, that's an orgasm. But for me, it was like that was for me, and it's actually really enjoyable for my body to just like be receiving like energy and expanding, and it's not like screaming or anything. And it was like completely like confusing to the partners I had, or like all of that. So for anybody else out there who's like even judging their orgasm, like, can we just destroy and uncreate all the judgments you have about what that's supposed to look like, feel like, and be like as well? That would be awesome. Awesome. So that is destroy and uncreate it all right around Kit Kat, Pock Pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And yeah, so I like it because you kind of like throw words out there, and I'm like, oh, that for me. And so I was actually watching one of your interviews that you did on breakfast television. So for all of you out there, check out YouTube with Susan Lazar-Hart. And she did an interview on breakfast television that is like 5 minutes of absolute brilliant tools. And, you know, for any of you who are completely new to this and would like a little more, you'd like a visual, you like to like see Susan, I really, really enjoy that video. So I encourage you to go check it out and see some more tools, like see what else is on there. She's got a lot of videos, so enjoy them. Like, there's so many resources for right relationship for you. All of you can be choosing, and you know, and there are these great days of facilitation where she's, you know, offering facilitation to people. You can come and you can sign up and register, and like, what if you could actually have more for you, just more joy with people like in your life? And it's not just like your lover. That was kind of like where I had a bit of before Access, I had a bit of a misunderstanding or misidentification of like a relationship is only the person I'm having sex with. Everything else is like family, but I wasn't like getting that it's all these ways that we create or relate to each other or create that separation between each other and the comparison between each other. Susan, when we come back from break, we're going to go to break in about 2 minutes, but I'd actually like your awareness on like relationship and to hear it from you, how I think we talked about relationship on this show before, but I just used the word relationship for most people who are listening who maybe haven't read any Access books or whatever, but there is some amazing information about like what a relationship is and what that word actually means. And I'd like to have you guys actually know more about that, because that's what I like. I like you guys to know more to offer that out. And also when it comes to relationships too, like choosing a partner that would be joyful for your body. If you have any tips for the listeners now and in the future about choosing something that would actually work for them, would that be cool?
Sure.
Cool. So we're going to break, and then when we come back, if you could please let us know more about what is relationship, and then how that is in relation to like how we can choose partners, like play partners. Cool. Thank you.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
Join Laurie Scott, body worker and energy worker for over 25 years and a pioneer of consciousness in the field of travel adventure. Join Laurie's creation in exploring the ride of life, the Carousel of Consciousness Club. Using tools of intuition and awareness, Laurie is excited to assist people in their own journey, facilitating a softer, kinder ride through the rough spots. Contact Laurie at www.living-in-magic.com. You can also like her Earth University page on Facebook. Expand the energy in your life this year through her Carousel of Consciousness Club and become a member today.
What does optimal cell health mean, and how can you create it? Pulsed electromagnetic field therapy by Swiss Bionics can improve your well-being in every area of your life. The PEMF mat stimulates cells to move and create space between cells for optimal cell function. How does it get better than that? Use 2 to 3 times per day for 8 minutes will improve circulation and immune function. Cell metabolism and repair begins, and mobility also will increase. Do you desire better health? If you're interested or would like a session, call 613-473-3805 or in Toronto. Call or text 416-253-1617. Monthly rentals start at only $300 per month. Is now the time to choose optimal cell health?
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and my guest today is Susan Lazar-Hart. She is a Right Relationship for You facilitator and a certified Access Consciousness facilitator. And one of the things that she's actually created, and she actually, I believe she did create, is the Right Relationship for You classes. And so there is a class actually coming up in Toronto this weekend for all the local listeners and people who love to travel and adventure. We have a class coming up on March 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th in Toronto. I encourage you to check that out. You can go to accessconsciousness.com and check out Susan Lazar-Hart. You'll see all of her classes listed. As well, you can go to Right Relationship for You and check that out as well. And so just before break, I was asking Sue if she could give us some more information on what relationship is. I know that I had like a misunderstanding of it, kind of like a misnomer of like what that word actually means. So if you could kind of get some information to the listeners about what that is, and maybe some tools too for them to start to choose greater in relationship, whether they're choosing play partners or whatever kind of relationship they're choosing, if it's relationship or family or whatever.
Thanks. I actually don't know what a relationship is.
Cool.
There is no one relationship fits them all, and that's why it's kind of like why we play with what right relationship for you. I don't know, what is a relationship? I have no idea. I know what works for me. What is communion to you? What is creation to you? What is having versus getting to you? What is really? It's what are people asking for? Some people are asking to be abused. Some people are asking to be in communion. Some people are asking for somebody nurturing and nourishing to show up, so they can continue to celebrate themselves as they are also an allowance of celebrating others. Some people don't want that at all. So there really is no. I don't really have an answer to what a relationship is. It's
okay, cool.
It's whatever works for you.
That's awesome. So for anybody who's I just remember reading something, I think it was like in one of the Gary books, what the definition that I kind of got from was like the word relationship is like something about measuring the spaces between two objects. Something that like it was like, oh, that's interesting. That to me was like how I was always creating separation. So yeah, when you're talking about communion, for me it was like, yeah, that was something that I was not aware of. I probably desired it but wasn't aware of it. So for people who are choosing to have something greater, like they're choosing communion with everyone and everything, do you have any tools that might actually kind of start them or kind of kickstart them for that?
Well, again, I would write down what are the 10 things that you're looking for if you're looking for a partner, and write that down. And then ask yourself, which one of those are you willing to be for yourself? So you can actually start to relate to the vibration of what you're asking for and ask for that vibration to show up for yourself. So let's say you're interested in travel. You're interested in somebody who's financially self-supporting. You're interested in somebody who cares about their body. You're interested in somebody who listens to their body. You're interested in somebody who is connected to the intimacy of their own life and living. Write that down. Then ask yourself the truth. Where am I not willing to be adventurous? Everything that is on create and destroy that. And then ask, okay, so what is it? What can I do with it? Can I change it? How could I change it? What is it that I'm asking for with adventure in my life? And write down, 2 or 3 ideas that you're thinking of would actually be fun to play with. Self-supporting. Are you financially self-supporting? Okay. So what is it that you haven't been willing to be that if you actually stepped into would give you the kind of finances that you're asking to play with? See, again, nurturing and nourishing. Are you nurturing and nourishing to you? If not, on Create and Destroy Everywhere, you're not willing to be intimate, nurturing and nourishing with you. What would it look like? What is it? What could I do with it? What possibilities are there for me? Write those down. Which one would be fun to play with? Maybe it's taking a bubble bath. Maybe it's running naked in the rain, having hot chocolate, whatever that is for you. So you then start to vibrate to the vibration of what it is that turns you on. Most people look towards a relationship for somebody else to turn them on. And that's the difference between relating to somebody as the distance between 2 points and in communion with the vibration of what you're asking to show up. Because it's kind of like you actually have to be that in order to attract that. So people who, earlier you were talking about people who attract quote-unquote losers, or they attract somebody who's not orgasmic for their body. Well, truth, how much are you willing to be a total outrageous success?
Right.
It's like, again, everywhere we equalize the playing field by limiting ourselves to what we've decided that we want from somebody else. Would you all be willing to uncreate and destroy that?
Yes.
Yeah, good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. That would be where I would begin, and it's also where I be myself. I've been in a relationship for 40 years, and I'm continually asking myself these questions. Okay, what is it? Where am I in here? What have I decided that is right or wrong? What am I defending? Like, what if you didn't have to defend anything? What would that be like? And that's the willingness to create a relationship with you. And then, if you're actually willing to play with that, you'll become that vibration that attracts that vibration for others who are looking to play with you too.
I like that. I've heard, sort of along the similar, vein with like other the teachings outside of Access, but there's a different energy behind what you're saying, which for me is the like being that which you're asking for, or like where are you not willing to choose that for you, and like some of the things you brought up around adventure. So I like have quite a few friends who do this thing with relationships where they're like, but I really want that guy, that particular guy. And so like for all the people who have their heart and their eyes set on like the one particular one, or it's not even that he's the one, the right one, would you can we do some clearings for all the people who are like just stuck on the but he's the one and I can't move past that?
Well, you actually can't. It's like one of the things that I love with Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness. He said you can't pot and pock a lie. So pot and pock is going to the point of creation, the point of destruction, where you actually buy something as true and real and it destroys you. So like there's one man, one woman, one child, one boss, one bank account, whatever that is, you're already stepping into the limitations that this reality says is okay. Now, is limitation a lie or is it true? Are you a limited being or an infinite being?
That is freaking hilarious, right? I'm an infinite being, and I actually was... Okay, so I've been in Access classes for 3 years, and this is the first time I've actually really heard you can't pock and pot a lie, to be honest. Yeah. It's like literally the first time I've really heard it. So that's freaking awesome for me. So thank you for that.
You're so welcome. Because think about it. If you have decided, you've already decided and concluded there's one movie to go to, there's one restaurant to go to, there's one. Then
Holy
how
cow.
much are you actually missing out on everything else and everyone else that's willing to contribute to you? And I wonder what else is possible. There's no wonderment in there's only one. So you actually want to throw out the one and bring in the wonderment.
I like that.
Allow that, create and destroy that. Yeah, good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all nine shorts. And the other thing too is, would you be willing to be an allowance of people choosing whatever they choose?
Apparently not, because I just got really heavy on that. I was like, no, they need to choose what I want them to choose. And I thought I had more allowance, actually, but apparently I don't.
Yeah, it's just that. It's like, what's the lie here that I'm buying into? That and then who does that lie belong to? Like, who did you buy it from? That there was one boy, one special boy. I forget the musical that came from. I'll sing it for you during the break.
Awesome.
But everywhere people are buying their life as a romance musical.
Oh yeah.
We've lived thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of lifetimes. We've been with almost everyone on the planet. So to decide there's only one kind of way of receiving, there's only one kind of person you can receive from. But there's a buffet out there. Now, it doesn't mean you have to copulate with everyone.
Thank you for confirming that. I wasn't sure. Because I was kind of trying to practice that.
Yeah, you could. Oh, my vagina just got sore. You could actually... not enough lubricant for that, babe. You could actually ask, what is it that I'm unwilling to receive? Because anytime you have a judgment about someone, what is it that you're unwilling to receive? It could be stepping into an awareness that, would this be fun? Would this be nurturing for my body? Who else can I play with? And if you decide there's only one kind, how much are you already setting yourself up for failure, for judgment, for limitation, for conclusion? And what invention are you using to depend on the need of conclusion that you're choosing? Yep.
Yeah.
And that musical is Bye Bye Birdie. Thank you, Keisha.
Yes, it
that
is.
brings up and create and destroy that. Yeah. Good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. Yeah.
So we're going to break in about 10 seconds, and when we come back, I'll have something brilliant to ask you. In the meantime, get 3 minutes to actually perceive the energy on that one. Woo!
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bar session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
What does optimal cell health mean, and how can you create it? Pulsed electromagnetic field therapy by Swiss Bionics can improve your well-being in every area of your life. The PEMF mat stimulates cells to move and create space between cells for optimal cell function. How does it get better than that? Use 2 to 3 times per day for 8 minutes will improve circulation and immune function. Cell metabolism and repair begins, and mobility also will increase. Do you desire better health? If you're interested or would like a session, call 613-473-3805 or in Toronto. Call or text 416-253-1617. Monthly rentals start at only $300 per month. Is now the time to choose optimal cell health?
This is The Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and today my guest is Susan Lazar-Hart, and she is a Right Relationship for You facilitator as well as an Access Consciousness facilitator, and you can find her on her website at www.rightrelationshipforyou. And when we were at break, I was like really still kind of going, wow, to the whole you can't talk and pot a lie. That's like actually kind of blown my mind, and thank you for that. And I'm wondering, too, like, how many other lies have we bought that I'm, like, actually not even aware of right now that I'm, like, making as real and true that aren't even real and true for me or necessarily anybody. So, and I'm like, wow, is most of what I know about relationship a lie?
Yep.
And, yeah, that's freaking crazy.
How does it get any better than that?
I'm like, whoa, what am I going home to? That's awesome.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when just even listen to the word make. How do you make something? Listen to the force in that. A relationship that's phenomenal, that's nurturing, that's nourishing, is one that actually adds to your life and living. There's nothing to make about it. It's about, wow, so what else is possible today that I haven't been willing to see or be? How can I outcreate myself today? How can I outcreate my relationship today? I'm always asking, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to perceive, know, be, and receive all of my talents, abilities, capacities, and relationships with the universe?
Oh, adding relationships. I like that. I haven't thrown the relationships into that. That adds a whole other interesting dimension and element to that. I like it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you might try that while you're copulating too. It's kind of fun.
What I know, you have some of the coolest. Like I was telling the class, we were in a class today, and I'd heard you say in a class once that you run processes on Ricky while you're copulating. I was like, freaking love it. So once in a while I do the same thing, and it's freaking brilliant. Yeah. So for any of you who have not ever taken a body process class, Susan Lazar-Hart also facilitates 3-day body classes as well to learn all kinds of, to actually get to like really get in touch with all these different cool energies. And it's really fun to just add that into copulation. Like the first time I heard you say that, I was like, yeah, I'm going to go try that out. It's pretty cool.
Hello.
Yeah, so thank you for that. And like whatever, lies we bought, that energy wasn't even part of it. It was just like two bodies doing something like an exercise. Yeah.
And that's, absolutely, that's so brilliant the way you said that. That's the lie. That's one of the biggest lies of this reality. So there you are with somebody and you're kind of thinking, oh, I can't wait till this is over. Mm-hmm. And because you bought the lie that it would be fun. You bought the lie that you were required to copulate with the person. Whatever lie you bought into, did you ask your body? Did you say, body, would this be fun? Probably not.
That would just be so smart. Yeah. How would we choose that? That would be crazy. We might actually create more. So.
Yeah, because that's right there. The planet doesn't make things happen. The planet creates. We inhale and exhale, as does the planet. We're 80% water, as is the planet. So everywhere you're separating you from the orgasmic energies and the molecules of the planet that could actually assist you in creating the kind of relationship that you're asking for. Would you be willing to uncreate and destroy that?
Yes.
Good and bad, right and wrong, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. That's the thing that I love about these tools with Right Relationship for You. As you've mentioned, we have introductory classes that kind of give you a taste of access consciousness and how we play with it with Right Relationship for You. And then we have the 2-day New Beginnings classes that take you out of the matrix of where you have been fighting for and trying to make do into what could actually create for you. Mm-hmm. Which is just amazing how much when you ask, well, who did I buy that from? Well, truth, how many people are actually encouraging you to have a juicy, joyous, different kind of orgasmic relationship? Not many.
No, not too many. And I don't even know too many people out there that are even either offering the information or choosing that even when they're aware of it to start to play with those tools to create it. So I know more people are choosing it because I've seen people doing that, and it's not that I have to see them to know that. I'm aware that more people are choosing it, and it's like if we're actually, for me, it's like I always wonder, like, the more of us who choose the right relationship with us, what will that create for the planet? Like how, and even when I ask it, it's like there's this expansive joy and like the planet's like, thank you, like there's this like gratitude like all around for, and I love that. I love there's this more, that's kind of like the communion, I guess, right? So it's that more like, yeah, you get me, and we're all kind of like, woohoo. There's more this, I don't know if interaction is the word, but that's the word that I'm getting right now, like interaction between the earth and us, and it's more of like the simultaneity of the gifting and receiving. I guess that's what I would call the interaction. So I like that. Seriously, still my mind is blown on the pock and potting lies, and so if I'm running out of information right now, it's like, whoa, that was like.
Well, how much have you been taught? How much have we all been taught that if something doesn't work, you have to hang in there until it's fixed?
I did that for 10 years, so yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So that's a perfect example of if I could just get a clearing, if I could pot and pock this, it'll go away. It'll be fixed. Rather than asking, okay, universe, this isn't working for me. What else is possible here? I'm making this demand, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it takes. I'm actually choosing for me, choosing for more, and choosing from the kingdom of we in every relationship. Because you can't segment a relationship that works. You can't segment, when I get my body together, I'll have a bank account and I'll have somebody to play with. Or when I find somebody to play with, my money flows will increase and I'll find a great place to stay. It's everywhere you segment your life into bits and pieces with I'll fix this. That's one of the biggest lies of this reality.
Right,
really,
yeah.
The right relationship for you is the one you have with all of you, and it's really lowering your barriers, being in total allowance, and asking for more to show up every day.
That is something that I'm just starting now to choose, like asking for more to show up every day, and it literally does, which is so phenomenal. Like the universe really does respond to what you're asking for. Asking you shall receive. So in relationship with ourselves, like, can we ask for more communion with the earth, right? And what will then that create? Or
exactly.
One of the things I wanted to ask you is, like, for somebody who has this stuff kind of going on, like, so for me, I guess, and I don't know if this is still relevant or not, but I do know that this is relevant for some people, that there's this thing where it's like there's some part of me missing, and if I could just get that last piece in, and I'm going to be whole. That kind of like the disconnecting. I was like, there's some. Do you know what I'm talking about, or do you need more information on that?
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How light is that?
Yeah, right? So there isn't a piece missing.
Exactly.
So we're actually, if we just be aware that there's not a piece missing.
What if who you be is a total gift? What if everything you've decided is wrong about you is actually one of the greatest, biggest strengths that you be? So think about, go back to a time when, littles were there. And you came up with an awareness to your parents, to your teachers, and they said, you can't possibly know that, go back to your seat. You can't possibly be that happy, be quiet at the table. What if that awareness of you, that brilliant, shiny penny that was all sensuality, sexuality, touching your privates, giggling, laughing, speaking out of place, celebrating you, what if that's the true gift that you truly be and what you came here to be for everyone else on the planet? And what if it was just clamped down at a very young age, so that the rest of your life or lives you are just looking for someone to acknowledge any part of you, some part of you, because you know this doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
Would that make it one of the biggest lies of this reality, that there's a wrongness?
Yeah, that would.
Yeah. So it's like really one of the, I play with these tools every day, all the time, and one of the tools that I've been playing with recently is, what's the gift here that I haven't been willing to see?
I like that one. What's the gift here that I haven't been willing to see?
Yeah. And maybe it's, you could even, when you talk about that with a partner, wow, this isn't working for us. That's a gift. What if you could actually acknowledge what isn't working without any judgment or limitation?
Mm-hmm.
That's
yes.
a gift.
That is a gift.
Yeah. It's
to
like,
actually acknowledge it. Yeah.
Yeah, with your business, instead of saying, I'm wrong or I can't do something. Okay, what's the gift here I haven't been willing to see? What awareness is there here for me that I can actually create greater from? Again, you could do that with your body. You could do that, looking in the mirror naked at your body and say, wow. How many of us are willing to receive our bodies as the gift they truly do?
A little more each day. And like I love the idea of looking in your mirror and just asking, like, even what gift. Sometimes I do that, like potting different points of view about my body, or and then asking what the gift is a really cool question too.
Because what if there was no wrongness ever? What if whatever it is you chose, however you chose, whoever you chose it with, brought you to right here, right now, where you're actually, like Milica, you're actually creating this amazing difference with your radio show. So tell me what's wrong again.
It's like, what's my missing puzzle piece, or like, is there something missing there, or do I?
Well, How much have we been taught? How much have we been taught to keep questing and questing and questing? There must be something wrong here. It's too much fun.
Right, exactly. There's got to be. The other shoe will drop, or even in a relationship, that old adage, it's like, things are going well, the other shoe's going to drop.
Well,
I know that's like.
What invention are you using with the needed problems that you're choosing?
Mm-hmm.
You could play with that one.
being a bit of a problem solver. Yep.
Well, how much are things so easy for you that you look for problems to solve so that you can actually spin to more ease? Not just you, by the way, for everyone.
Okay, I think I officially love you, and that was a good one. That's I do that, yeah. And and there's so many places, even ease in like copulation or ease with, and I do often have a lot of ease with people, and I am often looking for, this is too easy, maybe I should create a problem so then I'll have something to clear. You know, because there's got to be more to clear, because I got to be sort of fucked up somewhere. Like, it's got to be the case.
And what if that's the first time you've ever stepped into space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Susan, would you like to skip break, or would you like to go to break? Okay, cool.
No,
we'll skip break.
We can keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't, because we've only got 10 minutes left. Let's keep on rocking.
Well, what I was thinking of was like, how many commitments are we entrained to, or are we taught to have, to keep looking for something wrong? Ouch.
Oh boy, yeah. Whew.
Everything that is, can we uncreate and destroy that?
Yes.
Good and bad, right and wrong, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. Yep. And how many systems have we created within this reality to actually refuse choosing? That if we actually chose it, would allow us to live and receive from a totally different system of possibilities.
Wow, that one really got me, because I actually heard systems the first time and nothing else after that. That was great. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yeah. And how many people create systems in relationships?
Can you give me more information? Yeah, can you give me information about the systems?
Well, yeah. I mean, a system is something that flows. It doesn't necessarily work. But it's what this reality is set up a system in terms of, this is the system. You go into school. What's the system? What's the school system here? Is it Catholic, Protestant?
Okay.
Right? And so you sign up.
Gotcha.
Sign up in elementary school, and you follow. This is the way we do it here, miss. So there are totally. It's like, how many tributaries are there on the planet? How many systems of possibilities are you willing to play with, and how many systems do you create to make sure that you're judging you, or judging you're judging your partner?
Right. Holy cow.
So and that's you cannot POD and POC a lie. See, if you buy that as true and real, it's a lie. You can say, so what is this? What can I do with it? Can I change it? What's there? What is it? What is it? You can ask somebody, could you do me a favor and ask me some questions? And maybe the question is, what's light here? How's this working for you? And maybe it's like just asking, so what have I made so vital about possessing this judgment or this system that stops me from having and being me? And,
So are some of the systems Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, how many of us look for partners in a relationship because we know they're going to stop us?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, rather than somebody who's totally in alliance and saying, cool, choose for you.
You pulled my question out of my head, so there you go. It was kind of along those lines. I was actually going to ask, for people who have chosen the system of a relationship that's based on the system of maybe, I don't know, is monogamy a system?
Is it?
And it's sort of. There's something there.
Okay, so how much judgment is monogamy a system?
Yeah, there's probably something there.
Well, so here, the parameters of this reality are solid structures, right? And they're created. It's a solid structure of systems created for those who choose not to be aware. So if we say something like, is monogamy whatever, rather than, does monogamy work for me?
Okay.
You see the difference?
So, yeah,
one is a
I
judgment,
like that.
One is set in the parameters of this reality for people who choose not to be aware, where the rules are this, rather than, so, because systems of possibilities are infinite. So rather than, is monogamy working for me in this 10 seconds? Just like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Sometimes
so for
I
people
feel like a nut, sometimes I don't, right?
That's cool. So some of the systems I'm just like curious about these systems now. I'll probably play with that a lot and like ask what the systems are, just because it's like a curiosity to me now, like which systems I've bought into, and how, you know, which systems I'm like creating my relationships from right now. Brilliant that maybe question.
What am I creating? That's a brilliant question. Like, and can, you know, what is this creating what I'm asking for? What systems have I put in place that's actually keeping me from being all of me? And also acknowledge, wow, what systems of possibilities have I created that are creating more for me? See, it's a willingness not to separate you from this reality and to create and generate beyond it.
This is like, I'm really loving this call, Susan. Sorry if I'm going silent on you. I'm like, whoa. This is
no, nice. I'm so grateful for you. Really, this is kind of the. I'm grateful for your questions, because this is the kind of way that we play with being in the question in our 2-day classes, and with New Beginnings, with the advanced Right Relationship for You classes, and even with facilitator classes, people who are choosing to be facilitators, because it's not as cut and dried as he says, she says. We do, we don't. It's more about investigating what does work for you, because what could work for you maybe could not work for you in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I love that 10-second thing around, like, so many things. Like, I had so much more awareness this weekend on 10 seconds and choosing to like create my life from a 10-second increment, and the awareness that gave to my body too. It's like, oh, and if I was choosing in this 10 seconds, and then like, oh, okay, cool, and then the next 10 seconds, it's like, oh, cool. So it created a lot of space for me. And although I've like read, you know, the 10 really cool ways to live your life from Access. And I've read them, and I read the book, therefore I know it all. I've like not really utilized them so much. Like, I haven't really brought them into my life to live them. And so now it's like, oh, what would it be like to like choose one of these tools and like start to really live it, like live that 10-second increment and see what shows up in relationship, in my body, all of that.
Well, you know what is fun is on rightrelationshipforyou.com. A couple of years ago, I made a free video series. There's, I think, 21 weeks, where you get a video every week, like a 2-minute video with home play and a tip and a tool, and it actually plays with the kind of thing that you're playing with. Because for me, it's all about play. So if any of your listeners are interested, or if you're interested, just go sign up. It's all yours. There's no cost
that's
involved.
Cool.
Yeah, and it really is kind of a little kind of a tug on your universe, saying, remember this one? You want to play with this one this week? Remember this one? And really, it's about being present and the willingness to play. That's what every relationship
that's play, right?
actually
it's like,
creates. Yep.
Relationships can be so serious if we choose it that way. But
we sit together. We're in relationship now.
And we have a ring on our finger, therefore everything is done and we must die.
I hate to tell you, all the people that I've seen come through workshops and decide they're in relationships, and there's no ring on their finger, but they have their piss mark on each other, that's for sure.
I like that. So we have about 1 minute to go. Can you let everybody know about your European tour and, Starting off this, as you so brilliantly put, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to be in Toronto live stream and live in person with the beginnings, New Beginnings, as we've just been talking about. And then in May, we move on to Europe, and it's London, Hungary, Croatia, Madrid, Estonia, Copenhagen, Sweden, and we've already been translated. Our manuals are translated into Portuguese, Spanish, Hungarian, Croatian, and Estonian. So I'm thrilled, and culminating in Copenhagen in between the 9 trannies and Gary Douglas's brilliant advanced body class. We'll be facilitators with Right Relationship for You, so come and play. Cool, and check out www.rightrelationshipforyou.com. And if you'd like to know more about me, you can check out MilicaJelenic.com. And thank you so much, Susan, for being on the show. I so look forward to seeing you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to The Pleasure Zone. Milica Jelenic will return next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm. We hope you'll join us. Until then, Have the best week of your life by choosing to be turned on and tuned in to your body.